Hello and welcome to the Southeast Iowa Union Newsbreak. I'm your host, Nick Steffens. Getting into the top stories, Hillcrest Academy, a private Christian high school near the Johnson and Washington County line, has announced plans to add middle school students in the 2022 to 2023 school year after the Operations Board voted unanimously to do so. This is a big step in the history of our school, a blog post from the institution said. More than 75 years after our founding, we are still building towards a bright future for our school. We feel good about the process so far and are thankful for your prayers. Historically, the school has only hosted grades 9 through 12, but principal and head of school, Dwight Gingrich, said they would add 6th graders next year, with plans to expand into 7th and 8th grade as the new students progress the following years. The transition will be planned by several subcommittees, covering a range of areas like curriculum, communication, and logistical issues. Gingrich said that the younger grades would be placed in one wing of the current building, while older kids moved elsewhere on the campus but still sharing spaces such as the cafeteria. The transition will involve hiring at least one new full-time employee, but Gingrich said that the rest of the workload would likely fall to staff that don't currently work 40-hour work weeks. The school's operating board opted not to add middle school in 2020 after releasing a survey on the subject to the community. Gingrich said the interest had grown since then. Gingrich said he and other school officials felt good about the plan, but were open to community input at the current stage of planning. We wanted to get the word out because we are not in an exploratory phase anymore. We are in a planning phase. We just want people to know what's ahead and invite feedback. If people have questions, ideas, suggestions, we want to be open to those. Municipal police say they arrested a Washington couple, charging the two with alcohol and sex-related crimes involving minors on September 14th. Officers of the Washington Police Department were advised of a sexual assault which had occurred in the city of Washington on August 10, 2022, a court document related to the investigation said. The victim in this assault was identified as a 16-year-old female. The criminal complaints that the couple knowingly provided alcohol to the minor and her boyfriend, and then the male subject made sexual advances towards the girl. The male subject was charged with third-degree sexual abuse and sexual exploitation of a minor, both Class C felonies, as well as 2 counts of supplying alcohol to persons under legal age, a serious misdemeanor. He is being held on $25,000 cash-only bond, according to the Washington Police Department. The female subject was also arrested, charged with 2 counts of supplying alcohol to persons under legal age. She is held on a $2,000 cash-only bond. The news release said Class C felonies carry a maximum punishment of up to 10 years in prison and a fine ranging from $1,375 to $13,600. A serious misdemeanor has a maximum penalty of a year in jail and a fine ranging from $430 to $2,650. The City of Washington Maintenance Construction Department will begin fire hydrant flushing on Monday, September 19th. Maintenance Construction Supervisor J.J. Bell said that he anticipates the flushing process to last 2 weeks. During the flushing process, residents may experience a loss of water pressure, discoloration, and rust. That was our top stories. It is now time for obituaries. Ruth L. Weiss of Mount Pleasant passed away on September 13th at the age of 96. Arrangements are pending at the Murphy Funeral Home in Mount Pleasant. Ronald D. Kaufman of Washington passed away on September 13th at the age of 80. Arrangements are pending at the Jones and Eden Funeral Home in Washington. Terry L. Scepter of Lockridge passed away on September 11th at the age of 73. No services will be held this time. Murphy Funeral Home of Mount Pleasant is caring for his arrangements. Betty Jean Buckwalter of Wellman passed away on September 11th at the age of 92. A funeral service will be held at 10 a.m. September 17th at the Wellman Mennonite Church. Eloy Fulton of Selma passed away on September 13th at the age of 77. A graveside service will begin at 11 a.m. on September 16th at the Iowaville Cemetery near Selma, Iowa. The Cranston Family Funeral Home is in charge of the arrangements. We're going to take a brief break, and when we come back, we will have the weather and sports.
Since 1905, Kelowna Cooperative Technology Company has helped our community stay connected with the latest advancements in clear, dependable telecommunications services. KCTC provides rural Iowans with access to high-speed fiber internet, as well as phone, television, computer repair, and cybersecurity solutions. We're also proud supporters of local organizations and area schools within the community. KCTC, keeping Kelowna connected.
Welcome back to the Southeast Iowa Union News Break. I'm your host, Nick Steffens. We have some volleyball and cross-country news coming up, but first, the weather.
The weather is brought to you by Jacqueline Areola, LLC.
Come visit Jackie in her new location downtown. She is ready to serve Washington and the surrounding community. Today and tomorrow are going to be almost exactly the same with partly cloudy skies and a high of 85. Tomorrow's low will be slightly higher at 65. Looking at the weekend, we can expect some thunderstorms to roll in. There is a 30% chance of isolated thunderstorms and a high of 86 on Saturday, then a 60% chance of thunderstorms on Sunday morning with the high remaining at 86. Thankfully, we will be starting the work week with some beautiful weather, clear skies, and a high of 89. That was the weather. It is now time for sports.
Sports, brought to you by Fairway.
Washington and Mount Pleasant volleyball clash in the Southeast Conference 5-set skirmish on Tuesday night, with Mount Pleasant looking for its first conference win and Washington its second. Winning the night was Mount Pleasant, 25-17 in the first set, 25-22 in the second, 21-25 in the third, 15-25 in the fourth, and 15-12 in the final set. It wasn't an easy path for the Panthers, though. After Mount Pleasant took the first two sets, the Demons dug deep, winning the next two to force a fifth set. With Washington holding all the momentum after knotting up the match, Mount Pleasant didn't back away, as Washington would never lead in the fifth. Washington was within 6 two times throughout the final set and made it at a 1-point game at 12-11 and 13-12, but Mount Pleasant was able to stave off the Washington attack for its first conference win. Washington and Mount Pleasant, their next contest will be at the Atoma Volleyball Invitational on Saturday. The two teams are in the same pool at the tournament. Looking at some cross-country news now. This week's Iowa High School cross-country rankings were released by IowaRunJumpThrow.com, and the lists have plenty of Union area teams and names. Two area girls teams currently sit in the top two in their respective rankings. The Pekin girls are now at number 2 in the Class 1A rankings, sitting behind Logan Magnolia. Mid Prairie is number 2 in Class 2A, behind River Valley Conference rival Monticello. The Mid Prairie boys are ranked number 8 in Class 2A. Danville New London sits one spot back of the Golden Hawks at number 10. Washington is in both Class 3A rankings. The Demon boys are ranked number 13, and the girls sit at number 13 as well. That is the news for Washington and the surrounding area. I'm your host, Nick Steffens. This is the Southeast Iowa Union News Break, and I will see you next time.